Hello everyone, and welcome to the GLDL Season 2 Grand Finals Preview. We have our two finalists set, which is Wakeman, the owner of the GLDL, and no, it's not rigged, he earned his spot in this finals. He is the coach of the Great Lakes Aces. While we have Hunter, or Archery, who coaches the Miami Flare, who has also booked their place in the finals of the GLDL Empoleon division. So, yeah, one last look at the bracket because it's the final playoffs video. This is how the bracket looked at the beginning of the playoffs run. We had San Diego Sandacondas being number 1 seed. Joey, an impressive 10-0 season. He should be very proud of his season. Obviously, the matches have his board because obviously we know the finalists. But Joey, he went 10-0. He only suffered his defeat in the semi-finals. He should be very proud. So props to him. You don't go. This was a really stacked division. Going 10-0 is just really impressive. Let me just adjust that volume a little bit. Actually, I have to open this Spotify up. Here we go. A bit more quieter. Anyway, and the number 2 seed, Wakeman, books his place in the finals. Only had to win one game to get there because he got the bye, and he's done that. He faced against the number 3 seed, which was Dina, who beat Yasha, who was the 6th seed, and Hunter, who's the 4th seed, played against me in the 1st seed. We have then the season transactions. These are the transactions the playoff team made. Not very relevant, because we've already covered these in depth in the previous 2 playoffs videos. So, the semi-final results. In the first semi-final, we had Hunter, the Miami Flare, defeating Joey, the San Diego Sandaconda 2-0. This was actually a very big result. I said after I lost to Hunter, I think it was probably better for Hunter to actually have beaten me in our match because his team can match Joey's better than mine could. Sure, I'd love to be in the semi-finals, but I had to be honest, and I actually do think my team would have been absolutely stomped if I was in Hunter's position. So the fact he's won this 2-0, very big. I actually thought this would be a too closely fought 2-1, but Hunter came in and he knew exactly what he wanted to do, and he just went bang with Celesteela. That Pokemon just takes finals apart. And in the other game, the other semi-final, Wakeman defeated Dina in a very hard-fought 2-1 victory. Cinderace went in and went big. It missed a prior ball in game 1, and then from there just said, nah, I've got your back, man. I'm just going to carry you and you're going to get to your finals. So that is how our grand finalists have booked their place here. I'd also like to say a huge congratulations to Joey and Dina for making it so far into the semi-finals. It's obviously very painful to get so close to that grand final and then lose at the last hurdle beforehand, but I'd rather lose a semi-final than lose the grand final because it hurts more. So, here's a bit of personal experience. I made the UGA grand final and I was like, okay, this is where I'm going to get my heart broken now. I'm going to come up against, I was playing against Flamingo, I'm going to come up against Flamingo and he's going to absolutely slap me and take my championship away. So I thought, I might as well just go on out in the semi-finals. But you guys should be proud. Semi-final, top 4, that is very good. In such a stacked division that we had. So be very proud and just come back stronger next time. I'm sure you guys have got plenty of more draft leagues that you'll be doing. You guys are great players, and I'm sure you guys will bob up again and get a very breakthrough championship win. Like you don't get top 4 in Empoleon without having to get there and without working hard. And Joey and Dina also put together very good and very comprehensive seasons. Joey went 10-0 in the regular season before suffering his first loss in finals. And it took some good prep from Hunter to get there. Dina, she was arguably probably my favourite for getting to 2nd seed. But Wake just pulled the run back after winning the first one and won the second one, so I guess you can't beat the Cinderace, I guess. And it will Cinderace and Celesteela. They'll face off against each other this week. Let's see which one's better. So this is the updated bracket with the updated results, with the semi-final results in, and as you can see, it is official. Hunter will face Wakeman for the crown, for the championship, to be crowned the GLDL Empoleon Division Champion for Season 2 of the Great Lakes Draft League. Now, we're going to get into the matchup. We're going to get into the juicy stuff. How do these teams stack up against each other? How are their seasons gone? What do their general stats look like? And where can we see these players potentially win or lose this matchup? So first up, let's have a recap of their season stats. So, I forgot to put the regular season result in there. So I'll address that now then. Regular season result, Wakeman won that 2-1. 2-1, I believe. I think it was 2-1. I know Wake won it. I think he won it 2-1 because I think Hunter did take a game off him. So the Great Lakes Aces regular season record of, I forgot to update this again, Wake. I'm so sorry, but he went 9-1. The only loss being to the Perth Centre Scorchers. Speaking of which, the Centre Scorchers have beaten both of these teams. So, whoever wins this championship, by virtue of me beating you, I'm the champion. So, and it will be the second season in a row that I will have beaten the eventual champion in the regular season. Because in Erie, I defeated Panda in the regular season, and he went on to win the championship. So, maybe losing to good old me actually is a kind of a blessing in disguise for you. Because you might win the championship. So anyway, we're going to go into the stats here. We'll go with Wakeman's first. His kill leader was Venusaur with 26 kills. These are regular season stats. I have not included finals results. Because I want to compare these two teams during their seasons. Not during their finals runs, because Hunter has played an extra game on Wake, so his stats are going to be a little bit more inflated. So, Wakeman's most brought was Cinderace, which is surprising considering Venusaur is his number 1 kill leader, which is number 2 in the rankings. But I think in updated rankings, factoring in the final result, I think Cinderace is actually number 2 now. Because Cinderace actually went bonkers against Dina. Again, his KD, 84 to 44. That is a very good KD ratio. Almost double. Almost a KD of 2. Which is very, very good to have in a draft league. It means you're taking a lot of kills while you're conserving a lot of your Pokemon. And it's very good. A game win rate of 19 out of 24 or 79%. That is impressive. The only player who had a better one was Joey, who only dropped for the entire season 3 games. Wakeman's only dropped 5. And he went on a tear in his and we'll get into this later on in the next slide because I go into this more in depth. But he went on a tear to start the season off, and that explains why his win rate is so good. So we're going to go into the Miami Flare. We're going to go into Hunter's results. He had a regular season record of 7-3, suffering his 3 losses against Joey in week 1. To me, he suffered a loss to me. And I think his last loss of the season was against Dina, I believe. I believe he lost to Dina. I don't know where his third loss came from. I believe it was against Dina. So, no. Hold on. Did he play Dina or not? I know he lost. No, he lost to Joey. Yeah. Okay. It's not Dina. It's actually Wakeman. He lost to Wake. Sorry. That's right. Just had a bit of a mental fade there. He actually lost to Wake. Wake was his third loss. So he lost to Joey, me, and Wakeman during the regular season. His kill leader was Celesteela with 29 kills. Surprise, surprise, it's Celesteela. It's always at the top of the kill counts. Because the thing's so versatile and what it can do. His most brought is Celesteela. Again, no surprise. It's a Celesteela. KD of 62 to 47. Good. It's very good. Obviously better than mine because I don't really believe in KD. But 62 kills, 47 deaths, very, very nice. With a game win rate of 16 out of 23, with a 70% game win rate. These are 2 very powerful teams, 2 very talented players, and their seasons have proved why they are worthy of being in this position. And with that, we'll go into depth for that. So we're going to go to a season recap for both of these teams. Let's go into Wakeman. I mentioned this. He won weeks 1 to 4, all 2-0s. He didn't drop a set. He had 100% game win rate. Yes, he was 4-0 with a game diff of 8. He could have easily have extended this to 5-0, 10, plus 10 game diff. And the only reason this never happened was because against me, there was a lot of RNG involved in our set. If his Rotom Wash connects a Vital Hydro Pump in game 2 when we played, he probably could have even gone undefeated to end the season. And we could have had 2 undefeated teams because him and Joey didn't face. Because he went 6-0 to end the season. So there could have been 2 teams 10-0 to end the season off. But he went and 6-0 to end the season to finish 9-1 for the season. And had a genuine win and in for a bye spot against Dina in week 10. The season for Wake came down to the wire, came down to the line of his final game. And so there was no rest for the wicked for him. He had to keep fighting for that bye spot. So he made 6 transactions for the season. 4 of those were free agency and 2 of them were coach to coach. Now the 2 coaches he traded with were Wolf and Rolo. And he's played only 1 set finals match, which was against Dina, which he had won 2 games to 1. Hunter, on the other hand, he lost week 1 against Joey. Joey went 10-0, but then he went on a 5-game win streak between weeks 2 and 6. He would then only suffer further losses to the Center Scorchers and the Aces, which are 2 other very good teams. Center Scorchers being us, and Aces being Wakeman. So, if you want to lose games, you want to lose them to teams that are actually going to be probably in playoffs, because you're going to face them again and you get a little bit of revenge. So he finished on a record of 7-3 to end the season. 5 transactions for the season, all of these being free agency, and this is the special point. He is the only player to have beaten Joey during the whole season. And he did this in the semi-finals, beating Joey 2-0 after winning his week 1 finals match against me. We won that one 2-1. like, these two players have proven at points during the season that they're just very strong and their rosters are built amazingly. Like, Wakeman went on 2 winning streaks and he went on an impressive streak to begin the season, but then going 6-0 to end the season, he could have gone. And in fact, if he got a role in his favour, like if RNG didn't screw him over in the game 2, he probably could have been 10-0. And that speaks to the volume of his team. So that speaks to the volume of his team. But the thing is, Hunter has also proven his team's very good by beating the 10-0 player, the undefeated player in semi-finals, 2-0, but also going on a 5-game winning streak during the season. Yeah, sure, this could be factors in of having a bit of an easier run, but no match in this division was easy. This division was full of players who were actually very good, and as such, going 5-0 or 6-0 or 4-0 is just a good winning streak. Like, I think I went on a 4-game winning streak one point, but it was not an easy streak to get. And as such, this is why getting on these winning streaks for these players was so important, because it allowed them to get into positions to book their spots, book a good run into the playoffs to get here. Alright, now let's get to the fun stuff. How can they win this? Now, this applies to both of them. They need to win the weather war. Wakeman has Sun, so he needs to get this Sun up to prevent Ludicolo and Celesteela from decimating his team. We know how much damage a Ludicolo and the Rain can do. We know how much damage a Celesteela can do. It doesn't need Rain to function, but the Rain helps it fight against Cinderace and Venusaur a bit more effectively. Meanwhile, on the Hunter side, he needs to get Rain up to keep Venu, Cinderace, and Ninetales in check. But, yeah, sure, Wakeman does have that Rotom Wash. But Ludicolo being part not ground type, Ludicolo is part grass type, grass water. It should, in an ideal scenario, win the 1v1 with Rotom Wash. So we'll go through, so that's the similarities, but this is where it gets different. I named this one Rabbit Season. Cinderace can, if positioned correctly, can cleave Hunter's team apart. If you can get this thing under Sun and out of the Rain, Cinderace can actually beat almost every Pokemon on Hunter's team. Because I don't think he's bringing out Flygon after they played in, I think it was week 8 or week 9, one of the two. And Flygon did pretty much nothing. It was more of a hindrance than a help. So Cinderace, if there's no Flygon, can actually go in very, very hard if the Rain doesn't get set up. But what Wakeman has to do is do not underestimate monsters that haven't been brought off them by Hunter. So monsters that have been brought like once or none. Flygon, Heatmore, Sudowoodo all come to mind. Yes, Flygon may have not been good the last time it came, but it might come and might have a better showing. Heatmore might come as well. After all, it is a good fire type that can help fight Venu under Sun. Sudowoodo can be a Pokemon that could come and has decent physical defense, so it could be useful in fighting against Cinderace. These all can have a big role to play for Hunter winning. Meanwhile, for Hunter, he needs to control his Purloin. That Purloin could be a real big issue with his Prankster ability if he cannot get the Psychic Terrain up. So if he doesn't bring Lele, I think he'll bring Lele anyway to in his 6, but if he doesn't choose it in his 4, then he's going to be really feeling the pain of the Prankster. But it's Purloin. Purloin doesn't have very good physical, not physical defense, it doesn't have very good bulk in general. So it shouldn't be too difficult to remove if it shows up. But he also needs to diversify. Celesteela, while a beast of a mon, can struggle to work. If Celesteela, for some unknown reason, cannot get going, he needs to adapt right away and not rely heavily on it. Because if it's not, because Wakeman will prepare for this thing. He's not. It's not gonna he's not gonna go. Oh, I'm not gonna prepare for Selly. He's gonna prepare for Selly. He's gonna prepare for the rain mode as well. But the Celesteela has to be a Pokemon you need to make him think is a threat. If the Selly can do what it needs to, you can force him into a certain mindset and get him to something else. You gotta think on the fly, and you gotta think of techs. This is how you can win a draft match. This is how you can win the grand finals. This is how you can be crowned a champion. You need to find those techs that can allow you to do a second mode. If Celesteela cannot do it, I feel Hunter will struggle. But I don't think this is a complete whitewash if Celesteela can't get going. The rain mode can absolutely do a number on Wakeman's team. The Psych Expand mode can absolutely do a number on his team. So, the Celesteela doesn't need to do the heavy lifting here. Use some other modes and use the Celly potentially as a break glass in case of fire situation. Because I think you'd be fine without your Celesteela. Of course, it's a good Pokemon in general, but I just don't think you need to rely heavily on it. So we're gonna have a look at the predictions here from the GLDL server, and it's by far a favorite towards Wakeman winning this with a 7-3 vote. So who do I think wins? Well, this is just such a hard matchup to predict because both of them are just such good players. They have such good rosters. They match up well into each other. Like, both of them have the right to win this season. Like, this is a matchup that I actually predicted in the preseason. I didn't record that video, but I actually said the finals would be between Hunter and Wakeman. I predicted Hunter because I said Hunter was my favorite team. And I thought Celesteela will just go to finals because it's Celesteela. It finds a way. And it's done it again. And I felt Wakeman would make it to finals as well because I felt like his team had that very good hyper offensive mode which can quickly blast teams apart, and he's made it using that hyper offensive mode to do that. So it's like, who do I think's gonna win this? It's like having to pick between two people you absolutely care about and having to throw another one into eternal torture and misery. It's like they're two VC homies that I get along with. Like, it's just difficult to predict, so I'm gonna just click the button and I will explain why I predicted this way. I predict Wakeman to pull out the win. Like, I don't have much confidence in this because I honestly don't know where this goes. I think getting Sun up for Wakeman is a lot easier than getting Rain up for Hunter. He has the Prankster Purloin. He also has the manual way with Ninetales. Meanwhile, Hunter is very reliant on his Politoed to set it up. So if Wakeman can remove that Politoed and set the rain and get rid of the rain, it could just be a whitewash for Wake. But this matchup is going to be very good and very close. Like, I don't think this will be 2-0 either way. I think this will be a hard-fought 2-1, very stressful. Like, I hate playing in close finals. Like, and these two are going to find out why. Like, this can easily come down to damage calcs. This is going to come down to who actually preps better. This is going to come down to who's got the calcs done, who's got their spreads correctly, who's got the techs. I think Wakeman has a lot more tools he can use. I think he can get the job done. But I can easily see Hunter winning. Like, there's no clear favourite here for me. I have backed Wake because I just think he can probably pull something out. I think he has the Pokemon to do it. Like, oh, I'm actually really excited for this matchup. So, Hunter, Wakeman, as a fellow champion of a draft league, good luck. And honestly, have fun with it. It's not very often you'll get to a championship, well, a grand final, and whichever one of you guys win this, you guys have absolutely deserved it. Like, the amount of time that you guys have put into your seasons, the prep you guys have done, like, absolutely deserved. You guys have drafted. You drafted great teams, great rosters, and they're deserving to be here. Absolutely deserving to be here. But unfortunately, only one of you can be crowned champion. I'd love to crown both of you champion. Like, I wouldn't want to say, like, if I was the admin, which I'm not, it's Wakeman, I would crown 2 champions, but I can't. So I think Wakeman wins this. I think he takes the championship home, and I think this will be Wakeman's first championship if he wins this. And I don't know about Hunter. I don't know if he's won one or not yet. So this could be a first draft league championship for both of these players if Hunter hasn't won one yet. But, boys, have fun, enjoy it, and just give us such a cracking game. Make it a close one, make it a hardly fought one. So until we meet again, which I think will be my week 2 PDCL match. I will see you all in that video. And again, congratulations to Hunter. Congratulations to Wakeman for making finals. Huge congrats to Dina and Joey for their semi-finals runs. And of course, the finals congratulations goes to Dasha for making playoffs. Unfortunately, I went out in week 1, but they still made it. That's what us semi-finalists they've got to hold on to. Not semi-finals, week 1 finalists. We made it, at least. So, until next time, I'll see you all in the next Draft League video. So, goodbye.